All right, what's going on, everybody? We are back with another video here. Today we have the live version of TASHA Cobbs' You Know My Name. I'm not doing the version with the guy who also co-leads it with her. There are a ton of tutorials out there for that one already, but it seems as if there aren't really many tutorials out there from the live version, which is the version that I would assume most people are looking forward to playing if they're actually going to do this song live for worship. So the live version is in the key of C sharp. And the other version, the studio mix version, that one's in G. We're going to do the live version today, and I'm just going to go through the chords. I might not necessarily play the song in its exact arrangement, but I'm going to go ahead and just give you the different passages and all the chords that you're going to need to play this song. So it goes a little bit something like this in no particular order. And excuse my mistakes. The bridge, those are basically the main chords for the entire verse and chorus, and then you have the bridge. It basically just does something like this. So those are basically all of the chords for the song. I believe somewhere in the live version, the pianist, he goes to I didn't really listen to it all that much, but just off of just the top of my ear, I think he might have went to a dominant chord. Let me think which one it was on. I think he went to a dominant chord and it was on the 3. So I think the melody was, no, it wasn't a A, of course not. I think, I'm trying to think. Well, I believe he played, I'm not exactly sure what the melody was on. I don't remember what the melody was on, but I believe he played an F7. So when you're listening to the live version and they're building, and you hear something that's kind of funky, I think he went to an F7. But don't quote me on that chord. That was just off of maybe what I can remember hearing. I'm not sure, but I think he went to an F7, or maybe he just went to just a regular, just F chord. But those are basically all the chords for this song. And just a tip for those guys out there who, let's say, you get a tutorial to the other version, the studio mix version, and you learned it in another key, but you want to take those same chords and you want to put them in, let's say, a key like C sharp when the other version's in G. Well, what you can do is, what you want to do is you want to get familiar with the number system, and numbers really will change your playing forever if you're not already using the number system, because what you want to do is you don't necessarily want to memorize just chords, because if I got on here and I just told you, okay, just memorize, like if you watch any of my other videos, I don't never really call out chord names. Sometimes I might say chord quality, but generally I'm always just saying numbers, because by me giving you numbers, that allows you to just take those numbers and those chords and you can put it in any key if you know your scales. So for example, knowing that this song comes in on the 4. Well, if you know the song comes in on the 4, let's say we're playing in the key of G, because in C sharp you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 4 is major, so you build a major chord on the 4. But let's say somebody gives you some chords and they tell you, hey, for example, in the other version that's in the key of G, it's to the 4, but it's in G, so they would have shown you a C major chord, and you want to take that and put that in another key. Okay, well, if you know your scale, that's the 4, and this is a 1. Well, all that is in C sharp is just, it all comes from the major scales, and that's the same chord. That's the way you can look at, you know, all of the songs. If you know the song goes 4, you know it goes 1. It's the same way in G, 4, and then 1, and you can take that and you can do that in any key. Let's say you want to do it in F sharp, 4, 1. Let's say you want to do it in A flat, 4, instead of 1, and so on in any key. So if you're watching this video and you're in that position, just go ahead and get real familiar with the number system. And all you do with the number system is you just go up into your major scales. 1, major, 2, it's a minor, 3, it's a minor, but very often it's a 1 over 3 in the bass. It's very uncommon, and at least in my book, I don't really play a lot of songs where I'm playing a minor 3, but 1 major, 2 minor, 3 minor, 4 major, 5 major, or depending on what setting, it can also be like a 5 over 7, or it could be, you know, a dominant 7 on the 5, and then the 6 is minor. The 7, technically the 7 is diminished, but typically in most songs I play, the 7 is actually a 5 over a 7 bass, or a major chord on the 5 in the right hand, and then a 7 in the bass, and then back to the 1, which is major. So that's all for my video today. Thank you for those who are stopping by, and I hope you enjoy.